Hello. At Rape Crisis Center in Madison, Wisconsin, our mission is to promote hope, help, and healing for any person who's been affected by sexual violence.
We work hard to create social change to end sexual violence through outreach and education.
Our advocates and counselors provide emotional support to victims and survivors, as well as their families and loved ones.
We empower victims and survivors to choose the healing path that is right for them.
And we accompany them, if they choose to do so, forensic medical exams, report to law enforcement, throughout the legal process, and to get restraining orders against the persons who hurt them.
If you or someone you love have experienced sexual violence and need support, please call our 24-hour helpline at 608-251-7273. We believe you.
We believe you.
We believe you. We believe you.
We believe you. We believe you.
Hi, thank you so much for being here this evening. And my name is Meghan Randolph, and I'm the founder of the Voices Theater Project. And our mission is to do shows that empower and give voices to people who have been silenced. And we started in 2017 with the Exonerated, which was a play. And I see all my beauty queens are here with me for the next play, which is great. We're good to go. So anyway, the Voices Theater Project started in 2017 with a production of The Exonerated. And we raised money through that for the Wisconsin Innocence Project. And for our next production, we went virtual, as you can see. And I wanted to do this play about women who have been survivors from of assault by our president. And so this seemed like a great show, a great opportunity. And this play is written or those 8 short plays you're about to see are written by wonderful New York and all over the country based authors. And they were kind enough to say, this is free. You may perform this show without a royalty as long as any proceeds you receive go to a women's rights organization. And so we were, that was perfect for what the Voices Theater wanted to do. And so we partnered with the Rape Crisis Center, and many of you are here tonight to support them. And that is amazing, and we really appreciate. As you saw from the previous video, they do so much for our community. It's a tough time for nonprofits, but unfortunately, they have seen an uptick in need for their services, for their support, for their advocacy, and for their education. So this is a perfect time to support them, and you can do that at the link at the bottom of your screen, donate at thercc.org. I'd also like to invite you to check out the Voices Theater Project page. That's got on it a trigger warning, so we certainly don't want to upset anybody this evening. It's got some information in there about what you'll see tonight, what you might hear. Nothing is acted out. We don't use any disturbing images, but there are certainly words that could be upsetting for some, and so we want you to definitely check out that trigger warning at voicestheater.com there. And you can also see our virtual program, learn all about the fabulous artists, learn all about this movement and the amazing people who are part of it. And you can also look at a script. There's a script there just during the duration of the show tonight for our friends who are hard of hearing and would like to follow along. Again, please visit the rcc.org and plug that in at any point, even after the live stream, and make sure that you're supporting that organization, even if it's $5, whatever it is that you can give is really important. And lastly, since this is a live stream and a virtual show, we just want to ask you to bear with us. I already messed up. I called all our lovely beauty queens on stage too early, but that's okay because they're lovely. And so there's just going to be maybe a couple snafus, but we have worked really, really hard to make it a smooth experience for you. If there is a problem with the live stream for some reason, which we have made very careful. We've gone to very great lengths to make sure that doesn't happen. Go to our Facebook page at Voices Theater on Facebook, or go to voicestheater.com, and we will update you and let you know and get back to business as soon as possible. But we don't think any of that's going to happen because we have amazing people on board and behind the scenes. That is all. I'm going to stop babbling, and we are going to go ahead with our incredible series of 8 short plays. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to say women's voices matter, survivors' voices matter, and saying that you believe and working to be an element of change in our society. We appreciate it, and we really hope you enjoy the Pussy Grabber plays.
My name is Ashley, and I was Miss Georgia.
My name is Shauna, and I was Miss Texas, but you all know that because I won the whole thing. I was Miss USA.
Yes, we remember.
Liz, Miss Maine. I competed a year or two after you guys, I think. And I wasn't really a pageanty person. I wanted to use the money to pay for college.
Oh, I did it for the money too, for college.
Me too, obviously.
My name is Desiree, Miss Michigan. I competed a little before you guys. I did it for the money and also to be a positive role model for young African-American girls.
Me too, but for blondes.
Tasha, Miss Arizona. I wasn't a pageanty person either. Miss Arizona was the first pageant I entered. As you know, I spoke on CNN last week about my experience in the pageant, and now a major news outlet wants to fly us out to New York and do an interview with all of us.
When we say New York, are we talking like Manhattan or like Secaucus?
And I thought we could talk it through and come to a decision together about whether or not we want to do this. Personally, I think if we all band together, people have to listen. This stuff has to matter to people. This man is running for president of the free world.
I'm happy to be here because the reporter contacted me, and of course, I was the winner, so I represent the pageant the most of all of you. But I'm saying right now, there's no way in hell I'm going on television about this, and none of y'all should either. Real talk here, it's just going to make you all look like sore losers.
What was your experience like after you went on TV?
Well, you know, I'm not going to lie, it was a little dicey.
What do you mean, dicey?
You know, a lot of hate mail, people saying mean things on the internet. A witch came to my house and left a cursed egg. It's just typical stuff.
A cursed egg?
I think she was trying to put a hex on it, but it's fine.
Trump has the witch vote.
But even more so, I feel like some people painted me not as a strong woman, but as a victim.
Liz, sorry, you just don't look like you were in Miss USA.
My friend dared me to do it.
I find that offensive. Does anyone else find that offensive?
Gosh, I wish I was from Maine or Arizona. There's just so much pressure being Miss Texas.
I didn't eat a carb from 1993 to 1999. Not one carb.
I missed my prom to do Miss Teen Detroit tire manufacturers. It was like the main feeder to the Miss Michigan pageant. So I spent my prom weekend being judged by a bunch of men who make tires, which pretty much felt like what prom would have been, except their sons.
I missed my prom too, but they named me queen anyway, in absentia. That's Spanish for I wasn't there.
Also, when we went to do Miss USA, I thought we were going to Chicago. Nobody told me we'd spend almost the whole time in Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana is absolutely stunning.
So let's talk about our experiences meeting Trump. I never met him in the week leading up to the show. And then we were doing a quick change and he just walked right in.
Well, that didn't happen to me. Maybe it was just your year?
There's 51 girls. He can't meet everyone.
He just walked into your dressing room?
I got picked for the Mach 15, the tech rehearsal, where they run the show for time with the camera moves and the timed commercial breaks. They pretend the girls they pick is random, but we all know it's not.
Of course not. It's all the favorites.
So we were separated from the rest of the group, doing the quick change, and there he was. It was the first time we'd seen him in the dressing room.
I was raised to be proud of my body.
Didn't one of the states walk right up to him and shake his hand naked?
Well, obviously you're not talking about me because I was not naked. I was topless. What about you guys? Where did you meet him?
I saw him at the after party, but he never came up to me, and I wasn't going to go up to him.
I think he got a gay vibe from me, and that was it.
The only local pageant I ever lost, Miss Hush Puppy 1998, I was 14. The winner gave one of the judges a BJ in the interview room, and her platform was safe sex, which, first of all, is not an appropriate platform for a 14-year-old. And also, little known fact, BJs are not really safe sex because you can get HPV from them. It happened to a friend. So I guess what I'm saying is I would never do that, and I was runner-up for Miss USA. It's only exploitative if you don't have talent.
What the fuck are hush puppies?
You've never had a hush puppy? You've got to come to Georgia and have a hush puppy.
Are they like service dogs?
So, Georgia, seriously, you don't think it's exploitative that Trump walked into the dressing room while we were half naked and then got to decide who got thousands and thousands of dollars?
He didn't decide. There were judges, qualified judges. Martha Stewart was a judge. The old lady from Everybody Loves Raymond. One of the Baldwin brothers.
Alec.
No.
Billy?
No.
Is there a Stephen?
Daniel. The best Baldwin.
It's kind of hard to quantify who looks best in an evening gown, right? To assign numerical value to that, I mean, we all know beauty is subjective. So.
Of course.
No.
Yes.
Depends on what you mean by subjective.
I mean subjective.
I never did anything I felt uncomfortable with, and I was Miss fucking USA.
And you want to protect your brand?
Excuse me?
That's why everyone's here, right? To promote ourselves. That's what being a beauty queen is.
No, we're here to speak our truth. This man abused his power. He acted like he owned us, and now he's running for leader of the free world. It may come at a personal cost, but people should know his character, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, yes, in theory. And I just need to make it clear that I in no way support that man. But here's my issue. I went to an HBCU. That's a historically black college or university.
I know what it is. One of my sorority sisters was black. She was an alternate bridesmaid in my wedding.
And I met a couple of other girls who did pageants. Different years and everything. And they were all fed the same line of bullshit. They really want an African-American girl in the top 5 this year. So we were always fighting to be the one, because it could never be 2. So a victim of racism? Maybe. But a victim of Trump? I don't know. I never even met him.
Just to be clear, I should have won. And had Miss Arkansas not won just the previous year and also been blonde and also worn a teal evening gown and also made education her platform, I definitely would have.
God, education. That's original.
What was yours?
Bees? What? They're endangered and villainized.
At least you got to answer questions.
80% of us got eliminated before we opened our mouths. Ashley, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I just, every time I talk about Miss Arkansas, I get upset. Like, why her? I'm prettier than her. I'm not being mean. Like everyone I asked said so.
I always had this pipe dream of being a newscaster. Who knows? If I had one, maybe I could have gotten there.
I could have been a real housewife.
Winning opened up a lot of doors for me. My television career, my charity, my blog, my custom designer dog jackets.
You only get one chance to compete in the Miss USA pageant. One shot. And then you can never compete again. So you have to be strategic about the year you do it, because if you lose, that's it. That's it. For the rest of your life.
The crazy thing is, the theme that year was empowerment.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, Texas didn't even know what female empowerment meant.
What are you talking about? Of course I did.
We were practicing our answers, and you said something about weightlifting. Miss Massachusetts was nice and told you what it meant. If she hadn't done that, I would have won. So yes, I'm a victim because I should have won and I didn't.
Everybody thinks they're going to win, but only one woman can.
But also, it's rigged.
Exactly! It was rigged.
This is very offensive. I introduced myself. I am comfortable with my body and confident and poised, and that is what Mr. Trump saw in the dressing room that day. Miss Florida was naked, and she didn't win.
I'm not trying to offend you, but I heard that your state made a huge donation to Trump's charity after you won.
How could that not offend me?
Heard that too.
So you don't think what he did was wrong at all? Coming in when everybody was naked? A bunch of 18-year-old girls who were trying to win money from his organization. A 50-year-old man comes into their dressing room while they're changing to say hello.
That's what happens sometimes.
Had it happened to you before?
Yes.
But you don't think it was wrong?
Okay. It wasn't right. Are you happy now? So what? You want me to go on TV and say, I was topless, I shook Trump's hand and it bothered me, that I was self-conscious because I had scars from my breast lift, which I had for medical reasons. Yes, I did feel self-conscious, but I was trying to win. So if I go on TV about this, everybody in America thinks I'm either totally a clueless victim or I'm a whore. Sorry. I can't do that.
Do you guys feel the same way?
I am a little worried how this is going to reflect on me at work. I told my boss I was Miss Michigan, and I think she now respects me just a little less.
The media is mean. The public's mean. I have thick skin because Maine is so fucking cold, but I'm not sure I want Fox News branding me as lesbian beauty queen.
The morning after I was on CNN, I woke up at 6 a.m. and there were dozens of reporters at my front door. It was like that moment in Notting Hill, except scary.
Don't get me wrong. I do not want him to be president. But he didn't do anything to me personally. And going on TV about this particular issue in this particular climate is scary, and I'm not trying to get shot.
Accidentally shot myself once hunting. Hurt.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about getting shot.
My daughter, Eden, she's 4. All her friends do pageants, but I won't let her. Even though I loved them. I loved them.
I told my ex I did a beauty pageant, and she said that was part of the reason that she broke up with me. That I didn't see that it's a completely antiquated, misogynist, backwards tradition, and she said the fact that I didn't realize it just made me more of a victim. And then when he announced that he was running for president of the United States, I started having this dream. I was in my evening gown, I was alone on stage, and I put my hands up and I realized I was wearing a crown. I had won. And he, the owner of the pageant, now the president of the United States, came up to me and kissed me on the lips.
Oh, no.
No, no.
I thought you were a lesbian.
And in the dream, I liked it. That was the worst part. I wanted to kiss him. I leaned in. And then I started thinking, maybe she's right. Maybe I am a victim. So that's why I feel like I have to do this.
I just keep thinking, which is scarier? Putting myself at risk or putting our country at risk? I mean, I can't be the only beauty queen who actually wants world peace, right?
I want world peace super badly.
Do you think it made a difference going on TV?
I don't know.
My husband told me I can't do it. He likes Trump. I don't. I swear I don't. But my husband told me there's no way he's letting me go on TV. Said I'd be putting our kids in danger. Our pastor wouldn't like it. His boss wouldn't like it. But I keep telling myself it's okay. He's not actually going to win.
He won't win.
He can't win, right?
No way he'll win. I mean, my husband and my dad's 3rd wife and my stepdad and my mom are voting for him, but he won't win.
He might, though.
Here are the things I tried to teach my daughter. Have a stiff upper lip. Use your manners at all times. Make others happy. Never let anyone see you cry. Speak quietly. Who likes a woman who's coarse or loud?
Satnam.
Right, thank you notes. Lovely. Never eat more than half your plate. When your father would say, people need to eat, I wanted to shush him. He doesn't know. Also, he's Italian. In particular, he doesn't know. We know. We know the way each button undone on a blouse changes slightly how you are seen.
Satnam.
Assume that if mistakes were made, they were your mistakes. Be unfailingly polite even to the person who has failed you. And all this chanting and, I mean, what in God's name? I don't believe a mind can be quiet. or that there's significance in numbers. Sometimes numbers just... Each time I look at the clock and it says 8:24, which it does more frequently than I think it ought to, I don't presume it's my husband popping up to say hello, even though he did die on August 24th. 8:24. 5 years ago now. What I believe is that he's gone, and there are no messages to be received from him anymore. I suppose I don't believe in all this woo-woo, and I don't know why my daughter insists on believing in it either.
Mom.
Oh, she talks.
So, I really appreciate your coming here to help with the kids while Chuck is away.
But?
No, it's just, sometimes I feel like when you're here, you can be quite, well, I don't know, demeaning of me, of my lifestyle.
Did I say anything? Well, I suppose I do believe that you should snap out of this bunk or whatever it is. Children need their mothers. I mean, a lot of people don't like the president, but they're not holed up inside chanting all day.
Well, that's my job. I teach yoga.
But not all day.
And it's not just that I don't like the president.
Okay, Karena, I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night or the night before. The bed in that room is and the heat rattles all night long.
Mom, I don't want you to be here if you don't want to be here.
I thought you needed me here.
Yes, I do, but not so much that...
But what? Oh, look, darling, I suppose when it comes down to it, I just don't think one should be depressed about politics. It is what it is. It's a concept. It doesn't have to touch you, not really, especially you.
No.
I'm not sure you know how lucky you are.
Do you want to know my favorite mantra?
I'm certain I don't.
It's the one I was just chanting. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam.
Well, it sounds very... It sounds like... it sounds...
Sat means truth, and Nam means name. So, name the truth. The truth is your name. For years, I said it all the time, every day, and I didn't even think about what it actually meant. Satnam, Satnam. The truth is my name.
I honestly don't know what your father would make of it, all this...
Woo-woo.
Well, do you remember when we were visiting my mother? This is when she lived in the Cotswolds, and she had a room full of toys for you and your sister and your brothers. But when we were finally there, she didn't want you to touch them. She bought them for you to play with, but actually, she wanted them to be just so.
Will you chant with me, Mom?
You know I don't do that, Karena.
God, you are so open and also so closed.
Well, what does that mean? If you would say that about a banana, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so you remember that thing that happened with... Well,
I don't know why you'd be thinking of that now.
Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe.
The asthma again?
No, Mom, it's not asthma.
Well, you really should see a doctor. Get a new inhaler at the very least.
I've been to 4 different doctors.
And?
Panic attacks, probably.
So, it's in your head?
No, my throat closes up. My heart beats so fast sometimes I think it might explode.
You really should have been an actress, Karena.
Well, I'm not an actress. And that thing happened to me. It happened. And I think I might need to tell people.
What? Tell them what?
That the President of the United States once touched me inappropriately.
Oh, no, Karena, you don't have to do that. I wouldn't do that.
I knew you'd say that.
It was so long ago. I doubt you even remember it anymore. Not really.
No, I do. I remember it as though it was yesterday. I remember the color of the sky. I was 27. I was waiting for a taxi at the US Open. I'd been with clients, but now I was alone. I was wearing a short skirt. I was just trying something. Who's that one? Have we seen her before? He liked my legs. He came up to me. He grabbed my arm and then...
Oh, Karena.
He grabbed my breast, the side of my breast, and he held it for a moment. The same breast I used to nurse my children. He held it that way you might hold a box of Tic Tacs you buy on a whim when you're paying for a bunch of things at CVS, a little momentary, unexpected treat.
Oh, I know it was upsetting at the time.
I got into the taxi and I cried and cried, and there were so many reasons why I was crying. I couldn't piece them apart. For years, I've thought about it. It didn't just go away. And now I'm so scared, Mom.
Of what?
Other women have spoken up.
Oh, yes, and what good has it done, these other women speaking up? Karena, we're private people, aren't we? What are you doing?
Chant with me, Mom.
I don't chant, so...
Then what is your truth?
What?
What is your truth, Mom?
This is an American thing, this truth-telling, this need to unburden oneself. I'm much happier staying quiet.
Staying small.
It's always better not to call attention to yourself, Karena.
When he did that thing, when he grabbed my... Do you know what word came out of my mouth?
What?
Sorry.
Why?
Because that's what you taught me.
That's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not fair that that's what you were taught. Chant with me, Mom. Tell me something Grandma would say to you when you were a girl.
Oh, do you know how long it's been since I was a girl? I don't have your apparently crystal clear memory.
What would she say?
I don't know.
You do?
Well, sometimes. Maybe she would say, have a stiff upper lip.
Satnam.
She might say, use your best manners at all times.
Satnam.
Make others happy. Never let anyone see you cry.
Satnam.
Say quietly who wants a woman who's coarse or loud. And sometimes she would poke her finger into my belly and say, no man will ever want such a fat tummy. I was 5, maybe 6, and I wasn't fat.
What else?
Which should tell me to carry myself with dignity. I remember that. Carry yourself. As though a little girl could possibly be strong enough to take all that stuff inside, which felt like it could fill an ocean.
If I say something, I might get crucified. I might get death threats.
My mother would tell me, don't let them see you're afraid.
How could I do that to my children?
she'd say, assume that if mistakes were made, they were your mistakes. She'd say, be unfailingly polite even to a person who has failed you. And when I married your father, she thought it was just absurd, just, to marry this particular man who was so different, boorish almost when it came to his manners. Well, Italian, and most of all, open. He was open. And I think I wanted to experience that a little, to be in the same room, the same life with that courage, that kind of wild acceptance, solicitation even of whatever the world would throw his way, good or bad. I miss him, so much.
I do too.
Every day I look at the clock and it says 8:24. How is that possible? What does it mean?
I know what he would want me to do, Mom.
Satnam.
What did you say? What is that? What are you doing?
What does it look like?
I honestly don't know.
Well, obviously, I'm doing yoga, honey.
No, you're not.
Okay, then. Show me how to do it. Will you show me?
This story did not start when Michael Cohen called me. It started way before that, decades before that. But I don't think it'll surprise you to know that Michael Cohen, as is his specialty, took a bad situation and made it into a shit show. I'd known Trump for a long time, longer than any of the other women who came forward. And by knowing him, I mean he's harassed me, grabbed me, chased me, been obsessed with me, and been a general predator since the minute I met him. Jealous, ladies? Yeah, I didn't think so. I am a professional makeup artist with my own line of cosmetics. I love making people feel better about themselves. That look they get on their face when I'm finished with their makeup. Ugh. Oh, hi, Luann. I'm on Fifth Avenue. I got a new blush. Should I come up? Oh, Luann is not a real woman. She's a bunch of different women, some of whom have worked for Trump for over the past 30 years. Now, I could tell you exactly who's who, but that would ruin the fun of figuring out exactly which pitiful Lady Trump puppet I'm talking about. But maybe we'll have a guessing game at the end. You were going to love this. It's Plum.
Show me the right way so that I don't look like Bozo.
Oh, here.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
I met my ex-husband when I was 15. He was my boss at the Parthenon, the one in Long Island, not in Italy. He was 16 years older than me, and he had a son whom I really loved. As soon as I graduated from high school, my ex and I went into business together. We produced shows, pageants. We called it the American Dream. Well, that's how I met Trump. Somebody set up a meeting. It was an amazing opportunity. I mean, think about it. Trump was a brand. His name meant money. He had the power to take our little company and make it huge, or as he would say, huge. Any one of you would have taken that meeting, and don't try to tell me otherwise. I've been told I'm too nice, too forgiving. And it's true, I am forgiving, because I think if you're not, it's like a poison that you take yourself. Well, that's why everything that went on between us, I put it behind me. I had to survive. So when the press came to me in 2015, I called Luann right away. I'd known her for years at that point. We were friendly, and I kept thinking they'd protect me. I wasn't trying to make trouble. I just wanted it to go away.
Thank you so much for letting us know, Jill.
I just want you to know that I'm not going to be a problem.
Of course you're not. You did the right thing. I'll let him know what's going on.
The first time I met Trump, at the very first meeting, he was all over me. He turns to my husband and he says, "We're going to have a problem because I find your wife very attractive." I had never had anyone be that fresh with me. I went in the bathroom and I thought, what the hell do I do here? I didn't know how to handle it at all. And now I know how to handle it. But then I was young. And this was the biggest deal of our lives. And he had promised us so much. We had all these meetings that ended up with me fighting him off. With him forcing me into a bedroom, his daughter's bedroom. Couldn't get him off me. I started vomiting. I was vomiting and vomiting. Oh. How's that for a mental image? The President of the United States assaulting a vomiting woman in his daughter's bedroom. I mean, Abigail Adams must be so proud. That's when I filed the lawsuit.
On or about December 12th, 1992, the defendant Donald J. Trump repeatedly put his hands on plaintiff's thighs and attempted to touch plaintiff's intimate private parts. Defendant began making repeated personal sexual demands of plaintiff. Defendant made numerous telephone calls to plaintiff demanding that plaintiff sleep with him. The defendant, over plaintiff's objection, forcibly prevented plaintiff from leaving and forcibly removed plaintiff to a bedroom, whereupon defendant subjected plaintiff to unwanted sexual advances in an act constituting attempted rape. Plaintiff was emotionally devastated, distraught, and began experiencing mental anguish.
I don't actually carry this around with me. At least not on paper. The problem was Trump owed us money. You know, he never pays the people that he owes money to. And the lawyer said, if you want the money he owes you, you've got to drop the harassment suit. Well, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to stand up to him, not just for me, but for all the girls in the pageants. I'd seen how he treated them and harassed them. I wanted to fight. But my ex said no, and couldn't afford it. He wouldn't back me up or support me, so that was really the impetus for our divorce. But I wanted to fight. When my stepson called me New Year's Eve in 2015, I hadn't talked to him since the divorce. He said, come down. I want you to see my new restaurant and introduce you to my fiance. Well, my heart, And he said, by the way, there was this Trump rally in South Carolina. He was already registered to go. Yeah. Well, politically, I'm afraid to voice my concerns politically. I was never political. I was just trying to make a living. But I was so excited to see my stepson, and 18 years had gone by. So I called Luann.
I'll get you tickets for the VIP section. Wait till you see what's going on at these rallies, Jill. You're not going to believe it.
This rally in South Carolina, it was something. It felt like a cult, really. I didn't think Trump would even see us, but he comes over. He says to my stepson, he says, this girl 20 years ago, she used to be drop dead gorgeous. It was on the tip of my tongue to say, yeah, so were you. Instead, I say, listen, the press has been calling me, but I'm not going to say anything. He kisses me on the head and says, oh, don't worry about it at all. So I thought it was all handled. I mean, I wasn't trying to make trouble. After the rally, I went on a cruise with my friend, with Train. You know the band Train. I love Train. So I get back, and the phone rings, and it's this website, Law News. They ask about the harassment suit. I said, I can't talk, and I hung right up. I didn't even have time to call Luann. They freaking printed it online. When I found out, I was stunned. I mean, this was exactly what I didn't want, for my life to be hijacked, to be part of this circus and the politics. Oh my God, what do I do? How do I? And then who calls me? Who do you think? Michael Cohen. Mm-hmm. He was being very, very nice. He was trying to get me to say that it never happened, that everything in the lawsuit was made up. No, Michael, it wasn't made up, and I'm not going to say that it was. The very next day, he put out a statement saying, Jill Harth said all this stuff was made up, that it never happened. I told you it made everything worse. I was all alone. No one had my back. And I knew that if I told the truth, it could blow up my whole life. But I wasn't going to stand for it. So I posted on the website, yes, it did happen. Everything in the lawsuit is true, but Trump and I are on fine terms now. Because I wasn't going to let them lie. And I wasn't going to let them make me look like I was a liar. Then all sorts of stories came out. Oh my God. The Boston Globe, major papers calling me. I didn't talk to anyone. I called Luann again and again, still trying to be good, but I was livid. Finally, I was trying to help you. I was, but this has gotten completely out of...
Jill, just calm down.
This is hurting my business. You think people want to hire someone with this kind of notoriety? I look like a troublemaker. No TV show is going to hire.
Okay.
There's no idea how this is hurting my life. He's got to do something to handle this.
Talk to him. We'll call you back, okay? We'll call you back.
When I split with my husband, Trump got my number from somebody and started calling me. And he didn't stop calling. For 5 years, he harassed me. Chased me, promised me a job, said he wanted to have babies with me, told me he loved me. I'd been with my husband since I was 15 years old, and my brother had just died, and I was a lost puppy, and he knew it. And he kept calling and calling. I should have said, fuck off, Donald, but I was at my lowest point. And he wouldn't leave me alone, this man with all this power. So finally, I did go visit him. It wasn't a date, it was a visit. He had promised me a job running Miss Universe. I had to badger him to even get a meeting. And then they said they couldn't hire me because I'd had a relationship with him. It wasn't a relationship. I was a notch in his belt, that's all. Fuck off, Donald.
I talked to him. He said, get over it.
Are you kidding me? That's it? My business is being destroyed. The press is hounding. None of this is my fault. I haven't said anything, and all he can say is...
How many ways do you want me to say it? Get over it. Move on.
Okay. Then I'll tell the press whatever I want.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh, I bet you're dying to know which woman said that. Well, let's just say your tax dollars have paid her salary. The anchor gave me strength. So when The Guardian called, I did the interview. And after I did it, I went to Serendipity. You know Serendipity. Oh, I love Serendipity. I got a giant hot fudge sundae, ice cream and chocolate. Those are my comfort foods. Well, the day after the interview came out, I got fired. They said it was a security risk. Oh, and my ex-husband's brother called the Trump Organization.
He totally disputes everything you said.
How would he know? He wasn't there.
He wrote a letter. We're distributing it to local TV shows.
You're distributing it to local...
And he's not doing it alone.
What are you talking about?
Your stepson. He's doing it with him, saying you're a liar. Your own stepson, Jill.
He's since apologized to me, my stepson. But that relationship was destroyed. You know, I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive him. My father doesn't believe any of this. My sister thinks I did it for attention. That damage, that level of damage from my association with him, oh, it's so deep. People stayed away from me, people I cared about. The friend I went on the cruise with. His supporters say the most hideous things to me. They call me a troublemaker, which is funny because I never wanted to cause any trouble at all. That was the whole point. All this ugliness, what do we do with all of this ugliness? This doesn't really have anything to do with my story, but I think you'll really enjoy it. I once asked Luann how she deals with it with him because, you know, she knows a lot, you know, she knows everything. Do you know what she told me?
I go home and scream at my kids.
Oh, it hasn't been easy, this whole thing. It's been incredibly hard and isolating and lonely. But you don't go through something like this without getting stronger. I'm stronger than I was when I met him, when he assaulted me, when he wouldn't leave me alone or stop calling me or get out of my life. And I'm stronger than when the press first called me, when Michael Cohen turned it all into a shit show. I'm stronger than I was then. And I'm stronger than the President of the United States because he only knows how to lie. But me? You know that toy, the Weebles? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. I'm a survivor. Troublemaker. That would make a great lipstick color. But I wasn't making trouble. I was telling the truth. Turns out when some women tell the truth, it makes a whole lot of trouble.
Oh, fuck. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Hey,
Hey there. There you are.
Are you fucking kidding me? Where did you come from?
Meghan. Meghan Kelly. Meghan Kelly. Meghan Kelly.
Hello. I don't mean to bother you. I think I'm a little lost. I was in the green room and I was looking for the ladies' room and I walked through that door and now I can't find the green room.
Are you somebody's mom?
Excuse me?
Are you a mom of somebody here?
Oh, no.
There's.
I'm one of the accusers. I'm Jessica Leeds. I was the first. I'm the one he grabbed on the plane.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I was the first to come forward.
Save it for the segment.
Get your butt through the works because we go live in 10. The works, hair, makeup.
Oh, they already did my hair and makeup.
Okay. Then I'll see you on air. Thanks. Bye.
Wait, you're going to be doing the interview?
Who else would be doing the interview?
It's just that they told me I was going to be on the Today Show.
This is the Today Show. This is Meghan Kelly Today. I'm Meghan Kelly, and this is Meghan Kelly Today.
Yeah, I see that. I just thought I was coming on the Today Show.
You are. This is Meghan Kelly Today.
So this is the Today Show.
Yes. Meghan Kelly Today.
So, sorry, is this or is it not the Today Show?
Yes. Anyway, why don't you go put on whatever you're going to be wearing?
No, this is what I'm going to be wearing. I'm very disappointed in the person who organized all this for me because I feel very clearly that I was told the Today Show. Is that, maybe that person could help me. Is that a producer?
That's a nun.
A nun?
Can't you tell it's a nun? She's dressed like a nun. She looks like a nun. Also, we're doing a segment on nuns.
Oh, who is that man over there?
That's a Menendez brother.
Oh, so he probably can't help me.
A lot of shit comes through here. That is a giant Oreo cookie. That is a newborn baby addicted to opioids. That is a spork. It's the Today Show after all.
I thought it was Meghan Kelly Today.
It is.
Well, I'm not sure where I am, but maybe if I just go back where I came from, I could get back on track. I came through that door. Oh my God. That door is gone. That door that I came through is gone. This is very not how I expected this to go. Sir.
That's Matt Lauer.
Oh, never mind.
Watch out! Whew, every now and then it hails in here. But the hailstones are the size of Labradors.
How is that even possible?
Oh, that's cute. The obese conjoined twins have started playing kickball with it.
No, they're going to hurt someone. It's about to roll over the newborn baby. No, stop!
Puffin up, Buttercup. Only the strong survive this place. My eyes are lasers and my teeth are creepy little fangs. My fingernails are razor blades. It's awesome. Except for when I try to open a yogurt and I pierce the packaging because of my razor blade fingernails and yogurt gets fucking everywhere.
Well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get tough. I want to get out of here. I want to go back through that door that no longer exists to, the normal world, the real world where things make sense, where the only giant hail is the giant hail caused by climate change, and the only opioid babies are the 21,000 born every year, and where nobody cares about the Menendez brothers because Mass killings are now business as usual, and where people like you get paid $30 million to go away after you turn out to be a racist, which everyone already knew anyway. But nurses and teachers make an average of 60 grand a year, and where a man who is accused of sexually assaulting 22 women and who admitted to grabbing women's pussies on tape is president of the United States. Oh, wait. Maybe I don't want to go back. It's worse out there than it is in here.
Did you say something?
I don't know what to do.
Look at me. Look at me. Not the chinchilla family behind me or the vampire bats overhead, nor the gaping chasm of fire and brimstone forming at my feet. Look at me. I can help you.
But you're sort of the devil.
I'm what you've got. Repeat after me. The only way out is through.
The only way out is through.
Yes, I am a bucket of evil. But you seem to still have a soul, and you have a story to tell, and so we're going to go out there, and you are going to tell your story, and we're going to pretend that my ratings are not in the toilet. And that I'm not a psycho bitch who will soon be banished from television for what the network will pretend is my opinion on Halloween blackface, but it's actually a convenient excuse for the fact that I just generally suck at morning television. And in fact, nobody's even watching Kathy, Leah, and Hoda anymore.
I'm not following this at all.
Go out there through the madness and tell your story. Hold it close to you, like your 7th grade trapper keeper.
Is there music playing?
Tell your truth. Tell it over and over. Go ahead, Rebecca. Suck it to him.
Okay. I'm Jessica Leeds. I sat next to our president on a plane to New York. He grabbed my breast and he tried to put his hand up my skirt. I ran to the back of the plane. I never complained. I never spoke out. Years later, I bumped into him at a charity event. He called me a cunt. I never told anyone. I kept it inside. And now that I've started telling, I know that everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a story, and we're going to keep telling them, because in this crazy world, the truth and the people who are willing to tell it are the only hope we have left. This feels amazing.
I have blood coming out of my wherever.
Are those dancing flamingos?
Oh.
Is that Anna and Elsa? The sky is full of shooting stars.
Anything possible. This is the Today Show.
No, it's not.
I know.
The only way out of the madness is through. Tell the truth. Keep telling and 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 telling.
Something is wrong with me. The doctors aren't sure what, but something is wrong with me. I feel it in my gut. I'm not myself right now. They did a full exam, but I'm not myself right now. This isn't who I am. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired.
Hi, honey. I'm Maureen, your night nurse. Samantha, is it?
Sam, it's nice to meet you. I'm usually so much more fun than this.
If I wanted fun, I'd have opened a bar in Vegas like my degenerate sister.
I wish I was in a bar right now.
Play our cards right, I'll show you how to turn that hospital jello into a shot.
Oh, please don't say jello.
Looks like they don't know what's wrong with you, huh?
The doctor that was just here said I'm getting too much vitamin B. What?
A healthy, active 30-year-old girl all of a sudden can't move, go to the bathroom, breathe. That doesn't sound like you've been eating too many potatoes to me. But hey, I'm not a doctor. What do I know?
I get the feeling you know a whole lot.
Yeah, I do. And I know no matter what this is, they're gonna figure it out. You're gonna be okay.
That's what everybody says. You're gonna be just fine. That's what everybody says. Come on, Sam, give it time. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired.
Have you been singing a lot for no reason? I don't see that in your charts.
Must be the pain meds.
You know, you look familiar to me. Do I know you from somewhere?
Do you watch beauty pageants ever? Miss USA?
Sure.
Miss North Carolina, 2006. Can't you tell? Oh no. I think I'm gonna sing again.
Let it out.
Miss Carolina 2006, I was a girl of just 19. I had the style, I had all the tricks, I was an actual beauty queen.
Look at you, hot stuff.
50 young women flew to NYC for rehearsals and photo shoots. It's what they call the preliminary, where they assess our best attributes.
I don't know what they put you on, but I'm getting it for all my patients. This whole hospital's gonna be like that high school in Fame.
I always dreamed of being on Broadway. Now I'd just be happy with the bowel movement.
But you know, I don't think I know you from Miss USA. Something else?
The news, maybe? A few months ago, before the election, I went on CNN.
That's right, you were talking about the orange nut in chief. Something about how he what was it?
So then one day they made us stand in a line because the boss was coming through. I felt a shiver run straight down through my spine. Women walk, you know who, you know who.
Oh girl, I know who.
He came to me and looked me up and down like I was just a piece of me.
Yeah.
So I decided he could keep his crown and I went back to my suite.
Good for you.
And as I lay in my hotel bed wide awake, I hardly slept at all that night. Every part of me felt this dull little ache. I thought, this isn't right, it's not right.
It just isn't right. You know, I've seen a lot, you could say I've seen it all. But when guys like him are at the top, it's the girls that take the fall. And the world is full of those kinds of men who just keep on winning And yeah, the world is full of those kinds of men who just keep on winning time and time and time again.
There was another time before the big show when we were backstage getting dressed. He waltzed right in as if he didn't know there would be girls with naked breasts.
Now I need the bucket.
And I know what people will say, don't beauty queens want people to stare at their tits? I don't know, maybe it's my fault.
Oh, hell no.
So then a few years later on the radio, he was a guest on Howard Stern, and he was bragging about what he'd done on the show, 'cause they never learned, they don't learn,
they never learn.
When I heard that tape, I knew I had to do something, speak out. I'd never been politically active before, but this felt different.
Yes, it did. I thought if that man got elected, so many of my patients would lose their health care.
So what did you do?
I volunteered with the Clinton campaign early on. I went door to door organizing. I'd get home from work and immediately start calling voters, but it didn't matter.
It's like no one was listening.
Everything human I did.
He won anyway. And then 2 weeks ago, he became president, and now I'm so sick.
I really believed this time would be different than the rest.
But it feels like no one's listening, no matter how hard we protest.
So I try to make a change when everything always seems to stay the same. Yeah, why try to make a change when everything always seems to stay the same? I'm so sick and tired. 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 That was a lot of singing. You must be tired. I should go. See if any of my other patients are tap dancing or putting on the Lion King or something.
Wait. You don't think it's related, do you? Whatever's wrong with me and the election, everything that happened, I know you know what it is. Please, tell me.
It's rare, but I've seen it before, so your immune system is attacking your nervous system. Your body's at war with itself, literally tearing itself apart.
Gee, that sounds like a metaphor or something.
If I had to take a guess, it's Guillain-Barré. And if I had to take a guess, you'll beat it day by day. It won't be easy now. It isn't black and white. No, it won't be easy now. You're gonna have to fight.
I think that's probably the world's first song about Guillain-Barré syndrome.
I mean it, Sam. You want to get through this thing, you can't give up. Are you going to do any more of those interviews?
I don't know. Right now I can't even imagine standing again.
Well, imagine it. We need you out there speaking out.
What about you?
What about me?
Are you going to keep knocking on doors, calling people?
I don't know. The weight of it. That after so much history, this country still has so much hate.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Joshua 1:9.
You know it?
It's one of my favorites. Let's stand up together, you can lean on me. Let's stand up together, you can lean on me. Let's stand up together, you can lean on me. Let's stand up together, you can lean on me. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna
stand up together, you can lean on me.
You're gonna
stand up
have
together,
to
you can
fight.
lean on me.
We're not a afraid to fight. We're not 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 afraid to fight.
Wow, another round of meds like that and we might just win a Tony.
I don't know, we're pretty far off Broadway. But hey,
it's worth a try.
Over the last decade, we've seen politics change.
I'm home.
For the worse.
You're home.
It's become about fear, anger, and dividing people.
Try this.
Based on our race and tactics that pit Americans against each other.
You'll love it.
Based on our race, socioeconomic status.
But blow first.
I don't want to blow.
Or gender.
Okay, don't.
Ow! What?
Are meant to distract us from the true issues and challenges we face.
Nothing.
They're our group.
It's good.
One moment.
You like it?
So many people.
I mean, do I have a choice?
Have come together.
What?
Nothing.
To recognize that hate and anger.
I thought.
Is not the way forward.
What?
For our country.
Nothing.
They're our group.
I guess I just thought you'd be more excited.
One moment.
That you made dinner?
Because we know.
Make dinner almost every night.
I know.
That when we work together.
After working a crazy long day.
There
are more women in this country making dinner for their boyfriends and husbands after working crazy long hours at a job they fucking hate as we speak than there aren't, I would wager.
Oh, sorry. When we work together and show compassion toward each other.
Let's just set the table.
We get things done.
They're our group.
What?
One moment.
What's wrong?
Part of the solution.
Nothing.
Is
it's not nothing. It's
part of the solution is
don't invalidate my feelings.
Part of it.
Don't shut me out.
Solution.
I love you.
Is increasing the number of different experienced voices.
I love you.
In elected offices.
I heard you.
You can tell me. Whatever it is.
They're our group.
There's nothing to tell.
I'm sorry. One moment.
I'm worried about you.
Because I don't like your soup.
And that includes people of color.
You don't like it?
Excuse me?
Stop fucking demanding things of me.
And women.
Sorry.
Who are underrepresented. Who are underrepresented. Who are underrepresented.
I'm so sorry to bother you, sir, but...
Tell me.
Who are...
I just wanted to introduce myself.
What happened?
Yeah, I work at Bayrock.
I know something It happened.
And I figured, since we see each other a lot,
I know you.
I should say hi.
I know when you're hiding.
What?
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not a model.
Whatever it is, it's okay.
It's okay.
From Ohio?
It's okay.
Not okay.
Why did you ask if I was a...
What's not okay?
Thank you, sir.
Tell me, please.
That's very nice.
You can trust me.
But
I won't hurt you.
What are you?
What are you?
Okay.
I just want to.
No.
Is it okay if I?
It's okay.
It is?
It is.
No. But it's going to be.
I'm Rachel Crooks.
I'm Rachel Crooks.
I'm Rachel Crooks.
And I approve this message.
And I approve this message.
And I approve this message.
So, you know how when you get sexually harassed and or assaulted repeatedly by some titanically insecure, morally bankrupt, entitled, no-bottom narcissist, and you don't say anything about it for various reasonable reasons, and then that same titanically insecure, morally bankrupt, entitled, no-bottom narcissist is elected and or appointed to one of the most powerful positions in the country/world? Yeah, totally sucks. I hate it when that happens. See, I am here because I have a problem. I think it's a problem of cognitive dissonance. Yeah. So this happened, and I didn't come forward publicly, even though I understand the reasons I didn't come forward, wanting to protect my loved ones and myself from physical and emotional harm and financial ruin, not wanting my life derailed and or reduced to association with this horrible person. And of course, fear of no one believing me. Because people tend to not believe women, and women of color especially, but also fear of people not believing me in particular. Because I'm not like the most impressive, the most credible person in the world. And we've all seen even the women deemed by society to be the most impressive, most credible, even they don't stand a chance. So, and even though I understand the reasons I didn't say anything, and I support and understand other women who in similar circumstances did or do not speak up, still, I am wrecked. Overcome, overwhelmed with guilt and shame. So I want to know, Why am I dealing with debilitating guilt and shame when I'm not the one who is engaging in the abusive behavior? Why am I feeling so guilty when I didn't do anything wrong? So I'm going to explore this problem of cognitive dissonance related to sexual harassment / abuse in this theatrical setting, which is totally entertaining and fun for you guys, right? And don't worry, even while entertaining you as effectively as I am doing right now, I will also handle the subject matter with the sensitivity and gravitas it deserves. So I feel like we should get some sort of participatory, interactive stuff going on in here, because that's like a thing in theatrical spaces and events, I'm told. So to engage my basic cognitive dissonance problem, why do I feel guilty when I didn't do anything wrong? I'm going to enlist, invite a volunteer up here to help me. Oh, I know it sounds scary, but don't worry. You won't have to do much. I just need someone to read stage directions and do a few other things. It's no big deal. Anyone? Great. That was weirdly easy. All right. So this is, what's your name? Oh, no, don't tell me. We don't need to know your name. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Do you have the script? You just read the underlined parts, okay?
Okay.
It's stage directions, but then sometimes you read other things, like sometimes for another character, but it's no big deal. All right, I'm on page 2. You got it?
I think so.
Cool. This next part is you.
Oh, sorry. A problem of cognitive dissonance. Why do I feel guilty when I didn't do anything wrong?
Theory number 1. You feel guilty when you didn't do anything wrong because you did do something wrong. So now you're reading this part?
Right. Oh. How could you, hon?
So this is Karen, a friend of mine.
How could you, hon? How could you stay silent? How could you not come forward? You could have.
Hey, sorry. Could we stop for a second? Try to observe the parentheticals here. They're notes on the delivery, like how to read the lines.
I got it.
Yeah.
How could you, hon? How could you stay silent? Great. How could you not come forward? You could have stopped all of this.
See, I thought mid-confrontation would be really theatrical.
If you had come forward, maybe you could have been one extra voice that could have tipped things, pushed things just far enough to prevent the nightmare from happening.
Karen is actually a real friend of mine, but real Karen has never said anything like this to me. Real Karen is very supportive and says that survivors don't owe anything to anybody and that our number 1 priority should be healing and protecting ourselves. But this is what I imagine real Karen is actually thinking.
But instead of coming forward, you valued your self-preservation over the lives and well-being of millions.
Okay, you're the one who tells me it's not my responsibility to say anything, that survivors are under no obligation to report or not report.
Does that really track, though? What he did is criminal. If you see someone committing a criminal act, you report it, because if you don't, that person can and will hurt others. If you don't report it, you are knowingly putting other people in harm's way. By not speaking up, In addition to abandoning the courageous women who did speak up, and in addition to jeopardizing the future of this country, you are an accessory, an accomplice to the future crimes committed by this person whose criminal actions was your privilege to not report. All those future victims have you to thank for the trauma they'll experience and for the years of PTSD they'll endure, all because of your cowardice. What?
It's just, sorry. It seemed like you maybe just crossed the line or something. That was pretty intense.
Well, this is my first time reading this, but I think the idea of the character I'm reading is that she is the extreme nightmare version of what Han imagines other people think of her and what she thinks of herself. This character is this character is about holding Han accountable herself. So I think it's supposed to be intense.
Right, of course. Whatever you say. You're a very astute and intuitive volunteer.
So I'm gonna keep going here. It's your responsibility to speak up, to say something every single time.
Oh, come on. If we were to speak up every single time, that's not reality, Karen. If we did that, when would we be able to live our lives? Why do we have to be the ones sacrificing our momentum and our priorities to deal with this shit? Like, when people do racist, ignorant shit, we're really supposed to say something publicly every time someone does something messed up. Every single time, just stop in our tracks and write up an official report. Look, I wouldn't be able to make it through the day. I wouldn't be able to make it down the block from my apartment to the subway. So why should people of color have to stop and call this shit out all the time? Why should we have to ignore our own desires and priorities so we can address the failures and inadequacies and wrongdoings of racists? So when do we get to focus on just our own shit?
Yeah. You know what else derails the lives of women and people of color? Sexism and racism. So yeah, it's gonna be a little inconveniencing to write centuries and millennia of bullshit. It's actually gonna take some time out of your day.
Yeah, of course. But it is still not reasonable to demand that women, people of color, and queer folk, and immigrants, and members of any vulnerable oppressed community publicly just stop and come forward with each and every instance. I mean, of course, sometimes we choose to say something, but if it were demanded of us each and every time, that would be imposing a disproportionate burden on those individuals who are already vulnerable. And in addition to putting us at risk by demanding that we come forward every time, it would also prevent us from making strategic decisions to care for, strengthen our lives and families and communities. And you know that, imaginary Karen. You totally know that I'm right on this one. So boom! Okay, let's keep going.
A problem of cognitive dissonance. Why do I feel guilty when I know I didn't do anything wrong? Theory number 2. You feel guilty when you know you didn't do anything wrong because women, and women of color in particular, are raised to believe we are wrong.
We are raised to internalize wrongness, and women are presumed to be inherently uncredible. And it goes pretty far back. In multiple cultural and religious traditions, the testimony of women was regularly considered inadmissible in courtrooms. In Judaism and Christianity, for instance.
Projection. A Renaissance fresco depicting Mary Magdalene.
I thought a multimedia approach would also make it more theatrical. Continue.
Projection. A Renaissance fresco Actually, could we stop?
What?
I think everyone here gets the idea. No one blames you. You're good. We all know there are countless women who did not come forward for any number of reasonable reasons that made sense to their lives. We get it. You get it, right? We're done.
I think we should keep reading.
Why?
Well, there are several pages of script left here for one.
Not anymore, there aren't.
Okay, I'm not really sure what to do with this.
This is all bullshit anyway, isn't it? This is all bullshit. None of this is real.
Well, yeah, but everyone here accepts that. I mean, everyone knew right away that you weren't really an audience member.
More than that, this whole, I'm going to come up here and explore my problem of cognitive dissonance. Why do I feel guilty when I know I didn't do it? Bullshit.
Okay, so that's a real question and a question with a lot of resonance for a lot of people. I think like universally, not just with respect to this particular.
That's not why you're doing this. That's not why we're here.
You're right. It's something deeper. It's because what I really want, what I really need is to be absolved, forgiven.
What? No.
Okay, sorry, I am just riffing here. I mean, we are so far off the script right now. I was just trying to improvise.
I didn't tell you to improvise. Fuck. What is this?
Well, I'd say it's a woman coming forward publicly about the fact that she didn't come forward publicly and her trying to deal with that.
But you're not. You're not coming forward publicly.
This feels pretty public.
But you're not you. You're an actor who is not you. Reading the words of a writer who is not you. And I mean, who is you anyway? Who is you? Yeah, I know grammatically that's like weird. Aren't you tired? I'm tired of having to interrogate everything I think and feel and do. I'm tired of trying to devise different strategies to talk about this, talk around this, raise consciousnesses and explore these questions and issues, to do it in interesting and engaging ways, when underneath all of it, the thing I can't say is,
the thing is,
what if you just really don't want to think about it? What if you don't want to speak up or deal with it in any way? Because to do that would mean to acknowledge all of it. Because this particular set of episodes with this particularly horrible, titanically insecure, morally bankrupt, entitled no-bottom narcissist was a once-in-a-lifetime set of episodes, varying intensities, all wrong. And you don't want to have to look back and look at the cumulative weight of it all and think of
the cost of bearing it, the cost of silences, one on top of the other, moment after moment, decade after decade.
And the cumulative impact of you each time.
Not wanting to be rude, not wanting to hurt someone's feelings, not wanting to expose yourself and the people you love to more harm.
And you each time telling yourself,
don't let on that it bothers you. You are too tough to let that shit get to you. You are too tough for that shit to intimidate you or have an impact.
It can't even touch you. So you don't say anything. And you think you're letting all those instances roll off of you.
Because you're armor.
But actually, you're absorbing it all. And each and every time you did stop in your tracks and you did deal with it.
You're not armor. You're a sponge. You're the earth.
You've absorbed every moment. And every moment has become part of you in whatever way the accumulation of all of those moments has shaped you. And maybe the way it shaped you in particular is not good.
Maybe it's made you someone who's not especially impressive, not especially strong. Maybe it's made you someone who's afraid, who doesn't speak up loudly enough when fucked up shit goes down. Maybe it's made you someone who doesn't want to show her face.
I want to be clear. This is about me. Even if I'm not saying exactly who me is.
Because I know that so many women are shaped by it all in a way that makes them more powerful.
And maybe that's true for me too.
Maybe it's made me stronger and wiser, not weaker and more afraid.
I don't know. But question.
It is a question
I have.
I have this question.
I live with this question. Who would I be if not for?
What would I be if not for?
What would I
be doing?
Would I feel more ready to show my face? What would I?
Who would I?
Hi. I finished the Trump piece. Yep, they're laying out the page now. Photos look great. But do you have a minute? Never mind. No, it's nothing. It's maybe you can send someone else next time. It's no big deal, but something happened. Mar-a-Lago was Mar-a-Lago. I've been there 50,000 times before. The shiny gilded bling, tacky gold and everything, gaudy pompous glimmering from ceiling to floor. I interviewed them both about their anniversary, and Melania was preggers as can be. Harmless chatter, nothing strange, until she went up to change, leaving all alone the Donald and me. And up till then, the interview has gone as planned. He was courteous, professional, the huge. He wanted to show me the lay of the land. One room in particular was tremendous and huge. I walked in and he shut the door behind me. I had barely turned around when he pushed me against the wall and started kissing me, shoving his tongue down my throat. Yeah. Sound of everyone's collective skin crawling. Looming at 6'2", catching me off guard from behind, shocked not knowing what to do, with only one thought on my mind. Fuck you! Fuck you! I should have shoved your ass into the pool! Fuck you! Fuck you! You narcissistic, gross, encrusting, gold encrusting fool! Thank God the butler interrupted us, but Melania was on her way down, but as we waited, he said I'd be his mistress, and he said it 2 times more. He said we'd go for steak and have great sex. Then Melania came back, and so Donnie shut his trap, but not before he added Marla said he'd been her best. And we all know there aren't enough showers in the universe a girl can take to wash this slimy man away. I didn't think this low life could act any worse until I showed up at the spa the very next day. I got there late, and the massage therapist was in a panic. The Donald had just left. He had been there waiting for me. Yeah, he expected to find me there naked, alone, and trapped. His prey. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I should have slapped you right across the face. Fuck you, fuck you. You narcissistic, sadistic, odious disgrace. This happened once before when I was just 19. So delicate, I barely even dated. Set to interview a famous actor on the scene. I was starstruck, he was Oscar nominated. I answered the door, he's a robe, he went downhill from there. I grabbed him and he grabbed me by the hair, and I won't name names. But in this Me Too era, I probably should. The asswife's name rhymes with James Woods. But what's the use in speaking out? The powerful don't care. Oh, Mar-a-Lago, damn you, Mar-a-Lago. You're pretty, but your secrets are so sick. Your name means sea to lake, but your ruler's news is fake. He grabs him by the pussy just to wake his mushroom dick. Fuck you, 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 fuck you. I should have kicked you right there in the nuts. Fuck you, you creepy, crawling, so appalling, chauvinistic, egotistic, obfuscating, so dictating, xenophobic, protestophic, violence-loving, Russian-loving, vitriolic, Neanderthalic. Carrot color, climate, dollar, pick, paranoid, anaerobic, tax evading, free proceeding, self-deluding, milk-diluting, dirty, rotten pie. Okay, well, with that is the Pussy Grabber Plays, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to invite everybody to bring their video back up for a little virtual bow this evening. Thank you all so much. Thank you everyone for watching. This was such a great experience, and we so appreciate you sticking with us and being here. And please donate to the Rape Crisis Center, thercc.org. They need your support. They do amazing work in the community. We're going to do a little toast. So if anybody has a beverage, we're going to do a toast to the Rape Crisis Center and all their amazing work. We're going to do a toast to keeping art alive in this scary time. We're going to do a toast to believing survivors. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Woo!
Oh my God.